Furion within the last like 20
You
years.
really went deep.
Yeah,
You went into the Matrix. You
Yeah, I did.
found what he plays in pubs.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
So you go from like Hacker Man with like 3 keyboards, like spinning on his head.
it was basically just me going Dota to ProTracker.com, crystallize, select.
But it was
done.
Miracle as well, right? He played the Furion on safe lane too, so maybe there's something to it. Like
exactly.
Miracle.
But it gets banned, so...
Exactly, and that was the main point. I'd like to see it banned, and I was kind of hoping to see it come through, mainly because Nature's Prophet carry last year, again, obviously with HFNK3, he was one of the main reasons.
Wait, did you work with him? You did, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was honestly, it was so fun working with that team because when you go to a banning to a draft, they'd always ban Furion because it was so strong back then, and then we've kind of gone full circle where it fell out, and then because of all the TP changes, it's coming back in again. So I'm just happy to see Furion carry be such a prominent thing in the current scene.
Yeah. On the other hand, there's Roger that I kind of played with, and I didn't really have as much communication with him as you did with HFM probably, because I didn't really know Russian back then. I only knew Kak Pogoda, which basically means how's the weather.
Oh, that's
And I would say that.
But did you know what the response was though?
And that's it. And then we would play.
It's kind of like me getting into Taxi Sarah and it's like, Viviette, and then
and then
hotel, and
awkward
then
smiles.
And I'm just a Brit who just kind of gets in and goes,
Yep.
hi.
But speaking about Roger, he did get a couple of his heroes banned out already. Elder Titan, most importantly, eliminated. They go with Shadow Demon and the Timber Saw. Shadow Demon most likely will be their position 5. Can be played on 4 as well.
I would actually say it's more looking towards position 4.
Really?
Because again, Roger, I think he's like 4-0.
Did he play it? He did.
Yeah, he's played it already in this tournament, and also again in his practice, he's 4-0 in pubs as well on the hero. So I'm gonna be expecting him to be on this hero. And another thing with HellRaisers actually, they like to go with. There's 2 options in their drafting style. The first one is an early phase Funnick pick, be it a Timbersaw, Slardar, Mars.
Weaver as well, right?
Weaver as well. But if they pick the Weaver, they like to leave that later on in the draft. So the first style is that early Funnick pick, just to go, okay, try and counter Funnick, we don't care, we're going to enable our other 2. Or they put all the pressure on Funnick to give him a good hero, be it this Weaver or a Night Stalker, for example, but they'll leave it later on in the draft.
Speaking of, if we speak about underdogs and who our favorites are for this matchup, NaVi obviously is the bigger name here. However, at the same time, when you look at the games that they have played, they only played versus Bait. And Bait right now isn't looking that great, right? They're playing...
their drafts were the biggest letdown.
Their drafts, the way they execute their drafts as well, there's a lot of holes in their plans overall. Meanwhile, HellRaisers, they won versus Virtus.pro, and Virtus.pro are, even though they made a couple of changes, right now they're looking all right.
The other thing... Oh, go on, sorry.
Oh, look at this HellRaisers team. I mean, you look at the players on both of these sides as well, and I think like when you actually break it down on a player versus player basis, like they're pretty evenly matched in terms of experience. You've got Funnick, you've got Roger on the side of HellRaisers, and Poshka's been around for a very long time as well, and then the kind of newer talents of Nyx and Zani. Meanwhile, NaVi, you've got Pasha, Crystallize, and Magical, who, you know, kind of, and of course Shoma as well.
Yeah, Funnick, I don't know what happened to him. He had some really weird stage in which he went...
Moonlord stage?
Yeah, Moonlord stage in which he was 1% of Dota players, something like that. Yeah, but he's back, and I haven't really seen him play well in a really long time. And in this team, it looks like he's doing all right.
My only concern, though, with HellRaisers is the Timbersaw. When we looked at their performance in previous, be it online games or in this one here, in this tournament, it's the Timbersaw. They pick it early, Funnick has that pressure, but outside of that laning phase, outside of those early movements, it's hard for him to then convert pressure. Like when we think of that Weaver game, you don't need to play in your lane, you don't need to have a good time, you just run around Diffusal Blade, you're doing
and
something.
as well, right?
Yeah,
With Agnes,
exactly.
you always can save your allies.
But Timbersaw, he can fall flat, and I feel Funnick is such a fundamental part of this team, having a strong performance, that they need to really kind of push through and have a lot of pressure. And Shadowman is looking like to be the 5.
Yeah, because of the Nyx Assassin, and you all remember Roger spinning around with his Nyx Assassin trying to impale. Hopefully he'll have a bit of an easier time. And I think for Nyx Assassin, this game does look easier because you're playing into a Batrider, right?
And the DP.
And the DP. And already you have 2 heroes that you can set up on quite easily with the Carapace. And he will have to shut down that Batrider because if you're talking about Funnick needs to have a good game.
Yeah.
And if he's solo versus the Batrider, he might not have a lane at all. That can get quite hard.
Yeah, I think the most important thing, actually looking from NaVi's side of it, is normally they rely on Magical having a decent lane mid. You have these TAs, he has more of these kind of flashier heroes, be it like a Storm, Ember, Quap, these heroes.
SFs as well.
Exactly, SF. And then when you first phase DP, there is flexibility with it maybe being on a different lane, but I don't see Pasha playing it. So they're already showing their hand quite early on, which is unconventional, I believe, unless it like before it'd be like a TA, right? But when it's an ultimate first pick, it's...
Now, I would love to see some save coming with this DP if they're planning on picking it.
Casual
but also
disruptor, mate.
Casual disruptor, but maybe not so casual because they love to play the Naga. So they could follow this up with the Naga pick.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe.
I feel like that leads to a very ulti-dependent draft, perhaps, with the Exorcism, the Song, and the...
yeah,
Sonic
but
Field
still, if you have those heroes with those ultis, it's very hard to fail. Like Naga's Song into Aghanim's Disruptor, it's wicked.
I think
strong.
the nicest thing about these drafts so far is the fact that these lineups... What?
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay. Sorry. These lineups are so, like, based on their teams. You know, they're not really reacting too heavily. You look at, like, NaVi. These are NaVi heroes. HellRaisers. They're so, like, standard right now, so...
Meanwhile, in SCA, they're just trying to counter each other.
Like, take a spin, take a like,
They
go!
see one hero and they counter it with the next 4 picks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's refreshing to see as you're breaking everything.
Yeah, it's fine.
What's going on over there? You good?
I'm good, I think.
We hope.
Yeah.
Slow entry into the next pick. Now they're thinking. Now they don't want to rush. This is the point in which you can make or break your draft. Well, let's shadow him. Calm
Let's
down.
ourselves have a bit of a think, because we haven't had many predictions on these panels, have we? So,
Yeah, we're trying to play safe, you know. Predictions,
Exactly.
you can be wrong.
You could go for something like Lycan, I guess, on the side. Was it banned, actually? I'm not sure.
We'll find out in a second, because I'm going to expect it.
Okay, they go with the Lash. They have the Nyx and they have the Lash now as well. Are they expecting something like a PL perhaps coming? Or the Naga
also
even.
deals
They
with
might
the
be
Naga,
expecting
yeah.
the Naga, yeah, like we said before. So perhaps that's the reasoning.
yeah,
Covering it, that's fine.
pretty 4D pickup here, but yeah, definitely could put them in a good position.
And the other thing as well, technically, it does flex between mid and carry. So they're setting themselves up to have a good last pick. We've seen before with HellRaisers. They've utilized Broodmother. They're a Meepo team. They can play Huskar. Huskar's already banned in the first phase. So I think HellRaisers, they set themselves into a really strong position to make sure that this last pick puts Na'Vi under a lot of pressure. And straight
all right.
anti-mage, which is fine, but that's a very reactionary pick. And now you're going to have an issue where DP wants to move towards towers, anti-mage wants to farm. You need to put Pasha on a hero that can play strong, play in front.
Yeah, you need some frontliner,
Exactly,
right? You
yeah.
need some strong frontliner on the side of Na'Vi, something that's going to be able to just let these 3 heroes play their own game while he gives info, while he's up front. If that Prophet is that hero, she will be initiated on by Nyx Assassin and just blown up. So you need something else. You need something different, something stronger, tankier.
Nice.
Can Death Prophet go in the offlane though for Na'Vi? Is that likely?
It could. There is that option, but I just don't like it.
If you're sending the Death Prophet on the offlane, your 2 supports are Batrider and Disruptor. And if you're thinking about it, these 4 heroes have 0 stuns altogether.
Your game's so clunky. Like, they need a simple hero mid. Like, for example, no, not mid, sorry, offlane. They need like a Kunkka or...
They banned the Lycan, by the way. I like that ban.
Centaur, sure.
Very simple, very
Simple,
easy.
yeah.
It has a stun. It also gives you some sort of a save in form of that Stampede.
Was Brood banned? Is this not just like the perfect Brood game with like a Leshrac safe lane? I know you have the AM, but like the Leshrac safe lane, you'll be able to enable it.
There's Batrider as well. So they have ways of catching you through the trees,
Sure,
right?
but you've already covered it with the Nyx, right? So
yeah, they could pick that Brood.
what's
Meepo
as well? Is
Meepo is actually pretty good here as well.
Yeah, very
It's
strong.
not bad.
But this is the point. This Leshrac pick is so strong because, like you mentioned, they might have wanted to go Naga or an illusion hero. Leshrac covers it. The flexibility with the hero sets them up. So
yeah, I think that's the reason why they picked AM, right? You aren't really thinking of AM as your first pick priority. You're thinking about other heroes.
There's the Brood,
Yeah, it is the Brood. Yeah, nice
Nice.
call.
Oh, good
See,
call.
Nomad says there's not enough predictions,
Yeah.
and then we just hit every prediction. So
Everything. Given.
Very impressive. That's what I like to see, guys. Good job,
Thank you.
good job.
When you put us under
smacking
pressure,
me
yeah.
back into my place. You know, it's what fuels you guys. Now, if you get to prove somebody wrong, then it's all business. But no, this Brood definitely going to kind of shape up this HellRaisers draft and give them a very sharp focus for the early mid. I feel.
yeah, this HellRaiser draft. It's kind of disgusting. You've got Funnick on a hero that you want. He's a space creator. If he can have a good game, I think HellRaisers, it's so easy for them to play around him. And
you have a very disgusting pick, but at the same time, you're on a timer, man. Like, you're playing Broodmother Leshrac. You can't really extend way too long.
Can I make a prediction though?
Maybe.
I kind of feel like I know how this game's going to go, right? It's going to kind of be even-ish, you know. HellRaisers going to do a little bit better in the lanes, and then NaVi's going to take like a fairly decent fight with Exism, and then HellRaisers are going to respawn and just charge. And when that happens, you know, they're not going to have the Exism, and it's going to go very, very wrong for NaVi. I think that's what we see a lot with Death Prophet when they're against fast-paced lineups.
But that's the thing. You mentioned it's the fight, and that's all NaVi can do. If they want to defend a tower, they don't really do that. Disruptor, Thunderstrike, Batrider, Firefly preemptively, there's no tower defense.
And also these pickoffs with the Batrider don't look that scary at all, because you have Shadow Demon to save the targets and you have an Assassin with Carapace to always stop you from pulling targets out.
The draft is literally 2 Initiators with 1 catch, 1 Disruptor, and a Tower Taker and a Farmer. Like, you have... it looks so discombobulated.
The lineup of HR looks much better.
You know, gentlemen, let's look to the skies as we have our 2 casters joining us from on high. OD Pixel and S4, how are you gentlemen doing?
Yeah, not bad. Thank you very much, Nomad. Looking forward to another great best of 5, hopefully. Obviously, we just had that treat from Southeast Asia. Looking forward to seeing what both HellRaisers and NaVi can bring us here from the CIS region.
Yeah, I hope it's half exciting as that SEA Grand Finals. They certainly put on a show for this. S4, when you look at this Brood, are you scared for NaVi?
Yes, I'm always scared of Brood. But I'm even more scared of Funnick. I'm kind of excited to watch Funnick this series.
Funnick God.
Yeah, Funnick always a very exciting, high-paced player. So you guys kind of following our predictions that HellRaisers are going to have a pretty good game here?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, well, what? You good, T?
Yeah.
I've had a bit of a chuckle. You don't know who I'm talking to.
No, because it's like you're asking these questions like S4, Almighty S4, please answer my questions. And me and Lizard are like, yeah, we agree. we agree.
I mean, I'm sure we've had this a lot, but guys, win a TI and then I'll start asking you questions. But, I mean, Owen, what are you looking forward to in this series? Is there any particular
I'm looking forward to hopefully finding out that Roger's all right. We've just had a pause, and all he's typed in the all chat is toilet, sore. So I don't know what he ate last night, but it's not gone through him very well. I hope he's going to be all right to play.
You know, I actually have Roger and Pasha muted from the old VP times, so I couldn't see anything.
Goodness me,
I think he's all right now. He's back.
He's all right.
He's recovered.
Blimey. That was almost worryingly quick, but we'll hope everything's okay. Alrighty, gentlemen, take it away. Enjoy the cast. NaVi versus HellRaisers, OD Pixel, and S4 now underway.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nomad. Yeah, absolutely looking forward to this one. A best of 5 between these 2 ferocious CIS sides. We started to touch upon it there with the panel, but coming into this one, S4, we've got NaVi, 4th pick. They show their hand. They say we're going to run an anti-mage lineup. HellRaisers, they hit them hard with the 5th pick, Broodmother. Now, is this anti-mage going to work out this game? How are NaVi going to make this game a good game for the AM?
Yeah, so this game is... You have to put so much importance on the lanes this game. It's very important because the AM, he wants to be against the Timber, not the Shadow Demon Lesh. Shadow Demon Lesh will just own this AM, so he won't have a game. This AM has to have a fast start because Radiant have like a very fast pushing lineup. So they're going to take every tower. So AM needs a battlefield when Radiant starts pushing this game, simply.
So would you imagine, are we going to see sort of when the lanes get shown a bit of musical lanes? Like, do NaVi have to really ensure that they do get that animation, that place, and at the same time, HellRaisers is going to sort of follow that AM across the map over the first couple of minutes?
Yeah, I think HellRaisers are going to play very greed on the course. They're not going to move the course. Rather, they will just move the support here. Funnick is just going to say, I'm going to own this bottom lane, you know? You know how Funnick is?
Oh, he's going to be confident.
He's going to outplay them bottom, and then maybe Shadow Demon's going to TP bottom at some point and help the Timber. Look at AM, though. He's doing something.
Yeah, I guess he's still sort of ready to...
They didn't see the lanes.
To choose a lane.
He doesn't know if Timber's bottom yet. They're going to see in 5 seconds.
Let's have a look. He's going to have the info
now.
now.
Walk bottom now, instantly. I say that.
He wants to go top.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
You would say without sort of shadow of a doubt, you're looking at the map right now and you feel that the bottom half is the better place for AM to play in the lane.
Yeah.
Well, first blood is going to go the way of HellRaisers. The 3 of them able to gang up onto Slayer. And so now you are an AM moving into a lane that's just picked up a first blood against your team. This doesn't sound like a dream situation for Crystallize.
Yeah, they. I think I know their plan here. They don't really care about the AM too much. They want this DP to be massive force this game. So this AM is just not gonna skill mana break in top lane, because mana break, if he skills it, the disruption is gonna mana break him with the lush stun. He's gonna die. So he's gonna play very passive here.
Oh, that's smart.
Counter spell level 2. While this deep is gonna get fat.
And in terms of the plan with the DP getting fat, what is the aim there for NaVi? Is this so they have someone to turn up to the fights when HellRaisers do start to group up and push? Or with the DP, are you just looking to split the map and you're trying to put on push elsewhere to where HellRaisers are trying to make plays?
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna have to like battle them, because they can't really go for towers on their own. They have to battle them. Here we go. You see his skill counter spell?
Yep.
Barely takes any damage.
And so at what point can you take a point in the mana break?
Never. no,
He just never skills it.
He's not gonna skill it. He's gonna hold a few points.
Yeah.
The old AM could actually skill attributes. That's very nice. But this one, yeah, he has to wait a bit. He might not even skill anything here. You will see. Because the mana break is gonna be useful later, so he wants to save points for it.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to speed up sort of the jungling and such as expected. I think you're bang on. He's almost certainly just going to save the points on that, especially when Miposhka does stay sat on this top lane as the SD.
I have to mention the Disruptor kind of saved the lane there. HR did a mistake by giving him the pull. Curry died. But yeah, if they get the pull here, then they're basically going even. They cannot let them have a single pull. So they're sharing trial and XP. Mid lane though.
Yeah, going pretty even at the moment. 14 for 1 on 9 Pasha, 16 for 7. I mean, Nyx has got a slight edge with the denies, but again, I guess what this is, if you're NaVi, you're sort of comfortable with the fact that you have got a hero that can go to this lane and not feel pressured at all by the Brood and do pretty darn well in the farm.
They probably think they're okay with this, but I played this matchup before against... Oh, AM almost died there. He didn't skill the mana break. But I played this mid matchup before, and good Brood players, they're just gonna farm, and then at some point they're gonna put the Spiderlings on the tier 1 tower and just kite the Centaur, like he can't keep up. But Centaur's gonna do the same if he rushes Vanguard there, which I recommend.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's eventually gonna be able to step up and start hitting into the tower too. So a real sort of back and forth between Pasha and Nyx in that side lane. Down on the bottom half of the map, how are things going out for Magical? 16 and 11, very good
here we go,
right now. He's trying for the aggression onto Slayer, but Slayer's able to cut through the trees and is salving up. I mean, Funnick, you know, as you said, he's a confident man, but Downer at the moment, he's definitely having a tough time in these first few waves. Both Magical and Slayer making it a bit of a nightmare for the Timber down bottom, who's of course just been left on his own because of that tri-lane from HellRaisers. I mean, is this okay for HellRaisers that Funnick has a slow start? Is that sort of expected as a result of the laning situation?
I would actually say he's doing really well.
Okay.
Him skilling Hooker is very good also. And buying a wand, getting it out to the lane. And he might even win this lane when he gets hit slow 4.
So the fact that he's not getting the creeps, that doesn't matter. It's just all about the levels really early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you play off lane against the harder lane, the aim died again.
Yeah,
when you play off lane against the harder lane, you don't have to go for the CS always. It's all about the XP.
I mean, you're very right looking at the timings. We're 4 minutes and a half in, and he's about a few creeps away from hitting level 4 on the solo lane, so he can indeed punch back and trade. And we'll see what sort of item he wants to go. I imagine what this is just going to be sort of soaring. Are you just getting Hood straight up as soon as you can as this Timber this game?
Yeah, I don't know, actually. Hood is pretty good against Disruptor, so yeah, I think so. And I would say Dire has very good ways of killing the Brood this game. It's very, like, a lot of people talk about having a lane against Brood, but sometimes catch can be even more important against Brood. If you get a high level glimpse and a stampede and a lasso, you can kill the Brood, and it puts him down for like 2 minutes because he needs to spawn new Spiderlings. So every death for Brood matters. Like, it can be game winning, every death.
We'll we'll see Nyx, and in terms of his item build, it's almost certainly going to be the Diffusal and into their Aghanims that we saw from the Brood mid the other day. Down bottom, another attempt onto Funnick. Timber Chain away to break the Siphon.
Yeah, so what I want to see here is I want this Roger Nyx to rotate for kills. Preferably bottom to start with. I want Funnick to bait with the wand bottom and then they go for kills. But here we go, top lane.
Yeah, they get the setup. Disruption.
It did skill mana break.
Is it enough damage to take him? Stampy's going to be popped. Crystallize is able to blink over there, able to turn and get Roger. He still has to keep his distance. There's a lot of poison and it's too much, but Poshka will pop him as HellRaisers get the AM kill. Cost them a couple of heroes, but it's still AM getting knocked off the map.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're gonna glyph instantly. I want this Disruptor to run towards Lesh and tank the Edict. Yeah, like it's doing here. Because they cannot lose this tower this early. It's bad. Because the Radiant is gonna pull back the lane top, and AM has no lane then. It's very bad. So keeping this tower alive is important for at least 5 more minutes.
Looking at the state of the other lanes, the mid lane, Nyx is CS really starting to shoot up as he's utilizing the jungle to perfection. 73 last hits at the moment on this Brood. Starting to hit some crazy numbers very early on. And still bottom, Funnick, as you say, he's not dying. He's able to stay in the lane consistently, get what he can out of it against these two heroes who just, as much as they try, they're unable to bully out the Timber from this lane. These two heroes just don't scare Funnick right now.
Yeah. I don't know who's winning right now, but I see what they're doing. Roger is taking mid super early instead of ganking, which is kind of nice because he cannot gank bottom anymore. It's like they're way too strong now on bottom. So he's doing the best with his time. Top lane.
Top. Another bit of
mana break, remember?
Bit of a ras onto Crystallize. We'll be able to blink up, but he is getting really annoyed by these two heroes. This SD Lesh now with the start that they've had, the great levels, Kasani nearly hitting 6, so
yeah,
a lot of damage coming out from the combo that doesn't necessarily kill him, but it's constantly sort of keeping him low, making him burn through this regen. He has managed to farm up the Ring of Hell, so he's got at least something to help sustain him, but it's still a rough start for the anti-mage.
I want AM to send out the gloves right away. He really needs the treads to keep farming this game fast. He needs to keep up whatever means possible.
We'll see what he does get sent out, saving that money for now. They are going to have the movement from Roger returning to the top lane, so the three of them, they definitely can threaten the life of Crystallize. He's already starting to move away from this, and the rotation now comes in from Funnick. He's going to start to head up to this top half of the map and continue to add to the pressure.
Yeah, this bat is kind of messing with him right now.
Oh,
yeah.
All right, Nyx will take that.
Kind of like what he was doing, but he overdid it and he did it without a ward. Most supports, they go put a ward and then they do this. You can see Gyrax, when he used to play, he did this a lot to core players. I want to see this Brood hit mid tower, by the way. I wanted to say this. Funnick needs space this game. Look at top lane.
Yeah, they're going to try and set up for a kill on him. See what they can do
if
here.
he survives for at least 10 more seconds, it's going to buy them time to hit mid tower.
It's not 9 minutes on the clock right now. I mean, misses the Timber Chain.
He has one double edge. If he can hook again. Okay.
That was 8 seconds.
Yeah, he was actually fine there. If he hit the hook.
Yeah, the first chain would have saved him for sure. But the glimpse already being used to start things.
So it's not the worst death, but he needs to keep going top lane now, Timber. And in his boots, he just farmed for a few minutes. I want to see the next mid again. Or Shadow Demon mid.
Yeah, we've got to get
the tower while... Yeah, they got the tower while Timber died. So.
Yeah, 4-4 at this stage, very close, but HellRaisers definitely starting to make those moves they need to make sure that they make this a game where Crystallize never really gets to play as the anti-mage. It's a start that is beginning to speed up.
Yeah, I think Dire's a bit confused what they're gonna do here, but I think they should group up with the DP ult and Glimpse.
We're going to go for Kasani. Of course, nowadays, with that disruption, can counterplay the Glimpse. Still, Kasani's getting focused. The three of them attempting to chase him. Edict doing a lot back in damage onto Slayer, but Slayer, can he get on top? The Spike Carapace, it's going to stop him. Slayer, he's still got the 6-day farm. They're diving. they'll get it. Crit Swarm finishes off the job. HellRaisers cannot get anything in return. So Na'Vi will get away with that kill. Immediate TP over towards the mid lane. Nyx has the Diffusal Blade done. So now much more of a threat to anybody that tries to come towards this area of the map to soak up some farm on Na'Vi.
Okay, so important thing right now, this next minute. Brood finished Diffa. And look at top lane. Funnick, he should send out boots. You see the wave top lane? It's a catapult. I want the other 4 heroes to pressure somewhere. So when this wave hits top, they get the free bottom tower. So I wanted to group up bottom now, Radiant, and fight them. So this Timber puts the wave into their tier 2 top. But they're playing passive, so... You would see, for example, the game we watched yesterday, Nigma, they would play like this. They would play super pressure heavy. It's a mark of a super good team.
Yeah, because I feel like that sort of move as well, that call to defend that bottom tier 1 tower, it must be quite hard to make. Because I feel like we've been through a lot of metas where that tier 1 tower's normally been the one to let go. They get the initiation onto Pasha, so gets the chance for the Stampede. The stun from Kasani not quite there in time, as Pasha will manage to save himself. HellRaisers starting to shift towards the mid lane as their focus. Bottom lane, Miposhka goes to the TP out, no further cancel, he'll make it away. Pressures onto the tower, and this tier 1 will fall to the siege creep eventually.
Yeah, it's time to smoke for Dire. This TP should get the level 9 there, and then skill ulti, and they should smoke the Centaur, Disruptor, DP.
And then as Na'Vi, where are you looking to fight? Just wherever HellRaisers are, or are you going to just start focusing on one of these tier 1 towers on the other lanes?
Yeah, you're going to smoke with a Dust, and then go for the Brood, possible. Because they can just kill him with the Blinker. So they smoked the... Let's see what DP does. He skills ulti here, I hope. They will just get a Timber. They want the Brood. So this is a bad smoke, because look at mid lane. I want them
right
to
by that tower.
Yeah, they should have waited 30 seconds with the smoke. And put a heroes on lanes, because they won't kill the Brood now.
They'll look to commit onto Funnick. They'll find the Timber, they're going to drop the Static Storm. He's going to go for the TP out. They got any cancel they have. Glimpse is still ready. He's still out of it though, Funnick.
He's fine.
That cloak, yeah, is making all the difference. They cannot kill him, and now the turn's available for HellRaisers. Nyx charges forward, Diffusal Blade still onto Ilias, and with the Timber Chain damage, they're blocking off Pasha, allowing no escape for him. A double kill for Nyx. I mean, you read it like a book. You said it was a bad smoke, and it ended up being exactly that, just feeding 2 kills into the mouth of the spider.
Yeah, HellRaisers are keeping their eyes on the map, so they kind of knew what was coming. Maybe not Funnick that much, but the Brood was not showing mid at that point. That was the important thing. Look at DP. So they shouldn't be discouraged, Dire. They need to do this again, even without Disruptor ult. They should put Disruptor on a lane and smoke with the Bat instead. They need to use the DP ulti.
And you've got to explain this to me and all the scrubs out there. Why is this DP not taking a point in Exorcism still at level 9?
That is a very good question. Here we go. Then he knows there's no Disruptor ults.
Yeah, Nyx is still playing around this quite aggressively. He's going to try and juke it away. They get the stomp. Crystallizes in. They'll have this. With the Mana Void, they'll finally end the reign of Nyx. And who better for the money to go towards as Crystallizes the one to pick up the kill.
So you can read the Exorcism spell. They buffed it last patch. It's actually insanely strong right now.
I mean, it's not answering my question, S4. Why is he not taking it, you know?
Yeah, I'm not sure, actually.
He's taking the talents. Well, I guess plus 40 damage, that is quite a nice level 10 talent. But still, there's no Exorcism.
To be honest, the silence is even more important than the ulti. But he needs to skip a level on the other spells for the ulti. Yeah, I'm not sure.
We'll see. I mean, it's, so far, this sort of passive pace, 15 minutes in, it's not sort of causing Na'Vi to be massively behind. There's only 1k in it. The anti-mage, I believe Battle Fury is done. Goes for the naked Battle Fury on top of the GG branch of the circlet. He gets away with it. It is there. So as long as Na'Vi can sort of hold this off,
that was close.
Quite get in range of the cleave. Well, maybe now.
Wow. How did he know?
I was going to say, how did he know? That was some great game sense.
Game sense. Yeah.
Very good game sense. Yeah, instantly sentries dropped. Roger's like, how did he know?
Crystallize has been playing perfect this game after the laning stage. I told him he needed to catch up fast, and he did it more than I expected. But
sure.
anyway, the Brood. The reason I want Dire to smoke is because this Brood is gonna go insane soon, in a good way.
Yeah, with this BKB, he's just gonna start taking whoever's life he wants to in these fights.
Yeah, I'm feeling good for NaVi though. They're very strong soon.
Yeah, no, I think,
getting items.
especially as you say, the fact that this anti-mage had to start his game off against an SD Lesh Nyx assassin tri-lane. Is 16 minutes in, he has got his Battle Fury, nearly the treads as well, of course, with a few camps. It's definitely made the best of a very rough start that HellRaisers tried to bring to him on that top half of the map.
Yeah, it all goes back to the laning stage, right? Their game plan was to give DP farm instead of AO. So, kind of paid off, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, Magical's, he's in the levels. He has now got a point in the exorcism. He's getting that Ags done. They're starting to poke at this tier 2. Sort of, first exorcism we are going to see is probably going to be the level 2 one. And that's going to do quite a lot for them in these team fights, which HellRaisers are probably looking to try and get involved in. BKB's out for Nyx, so we'll see what the next move's going to be. I mean, do you still feel like you see this game, HellRaisers, are they very much on a timer with this lineup as it goes on? Is this AM only going to become this core that HellRaisers can't really stand toe-to-toe with later?
Yeah, I don't think Radiant can battle them later. That's why they can have to make stuff happen now. And they know it. Look at the way they're posturing.
Yeah, straight down mid.
This DP item build is perfect, I think. You don't go Yules against Shadow Demon. And Axe is just perfect. Axe or Blink DP is good against this ST.
Yeah, I like this. It was something that we started to see when the Axe was first introduced in the patch when it came out. Some of the players, I remember G in the mid lane was doing it, just rushing the Axe. It kind of just, it gives you a bit of everything, doesn't it? It's extra. Lifesteal sustain, it speeds up your farming, it speeds up your power in the team fights. It really is that item that offers so much for a Death Prophet.
Yeah.
We'll see. Still, despite having that defusal done, after taking the tier 2, what more do they want to find? They're starting to keep themselves sat over this half of the map, taking away as much farm as they can from the camps that Crystallize is looking towards. Go for the Glimpse back. There's connector down. Pasha, can he get the stun onto the Shadow Demon? He can with the help out of Crystallize. They take down the SD. Instant buyback from Aposhka. Wants to make sure that you can get over and enable HellRaisers if they go in. But Crystallize is already juking them out, keeping his distance, staying over towards Magical. HellRaisers, they don't have any further catch, so they won't actually get anything, at least instantly, with this buyback when Poshka commits.
Yeah, so the call was the back there because Pasha prematurely used the ulti. He needs the ulti for the Brood BKB, but it ended up working out with their good shot calling in fights. They cannot fight the Brood BKB right now, so Stampede is the way against the Brood ulti.
We'll see if, I guess neither of these teams can really do Roche that easily, right? Is that not really sort of an objective that either of these lineups are going to be eyeing up that early this game?
Yeah, I think Radiant can do it, but no, it's not good if they do it because let's see what they're doing. I think they'll lose map too much. Aim will get too fat if they go Rush. It's too slow.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. Not an option. Dire can do Rush though.
That's true, with the Ghost. Yeah. Magical can certainly, I mean, that is if he wants to use his Exorcism. I feel like we're still yet to see that spell this game.
It's a bit of a weakness of their lineup, the Timber. Not snowballing on lane. Because you want Roche here as Radiant. Roche potential.
Yeah, I can build on Nyx. I mean, he is going to eventually get that AC, but wants to get the Basher done first. So they've got an extra bit of, I guess, sort of control against the anti-mage after sort of the stun combo and setup that Maposh is going to be looking to perform.
Oh, almost popped the smoke. Yeah,
NaVi...
I don't think Fnatic enjoys this kind of games, or NaVi's dodging them.
I was going to say, slowed down a lot, and yeah, 0, 2, and 1, that sort of KDA doesn't feel very Fnatic-esque, considering how we saw him play yesterday against VP. NaVi, they're going to head up into Funnick straight away. Funnick's going to start to burst onto Ilias. He'll look for the glimpse to separate him. Ilias tries for the TP out, but the spider's on top of it. Nyx takes him down.
To the bottom now, right away.
See what Crystallizer's movement is. He's heading straight there, blinking immediately towards that bottom lane.
Yeah, he knows.
HellRaisers set up onto mid. Kasani with that Yule's catch, allowing Nyx and Funnick to bite into him. He's got the Stampede. Will manage to get away just in time up to the high ground. They cannot kill him off.
Disruptor dead for 10, so if they want, they can hit.
See what sort of reaction they can force, because Crystallize remains sat on that bottom lane. He's going to push it right up towards the tier 3.
They have to TP bottom right now, so they should back off. Disruptor spawn, but they cannot back because the glimpse. But they can get the AM kill if they TP.
They do. Perfect setup. Roger. That hammer done. He's ready to make the combos happen. He's hit that level 10 too, so with that extra impale stun duration, the combo's always going to be there. They lose Funnick off the back of that mid. I mean, that what could have been something they could have avoided. You felt that HellRaisers should have stepped back a little quicker there?
Yeah, it's hindsight, because if they back there, then AM senses something. So in a way, them staying for a bit longer made AM die.
That's a
so they
very
gave
smart way
up
to look at
Funnick
it.
and Timber for AM. So that's good.
I mean, this is still 21 minutes in. It feels like an incredibly close game, because we are seeing this anti-mage just getting away slowly with more and more, but still the kills, they do come, they do catch him. But he is in those timings. If he's able to just sort of get that Manta done and dusted, then so that the real threat is going to be Roger. He has to make sure this Nyx doesn't find him. If Roger gets a touch on him with that instant stun into the hammer, there's not a lot really that the M can do to save himself. He will die to sort of any hero plus the Nyx assassin at this point.
Okay. He might die here. Yeah. Yeah, so Roger, he knows that he's strong enough to almost solo kill this AM. He just needs like a little bit of backup. So his job is just to run at him and stop him from farming,
Yeah,
even if they go for mid pushes.
As well in mid, Nyx, he came in and he's got the basher done. We saw an attempt to TP out from the center, wasn't going to happen. Crystallize still playing the classic AM game, not responding, just keeping the pressure on, staying on HellRaiser's half of the map, so it makes it a little harder for them to commit to a push. Roger's on the hunt.
Sentry on the right side. So, yeah, he doesn't have a sentry anymore.
There's the gets greedy.
Starts with the stuns. That was...
Stun would have been a kill.
Yeah.
Actually, would it have been Disruptor? Could have maybe glimpsed back the Lash. Would have been close. Mid lane. There's the jump. Slayer's going to be able to get the grab onto Funnick. Lasso to drag him up towards the base. He's silenced. Is there any way the team can save him? I think they're just going to let him die. Flame Break not back under the tower. He gets the chain off. He's still living, but this napalm stacking up, and with the ghost flying out from that Axe, Magical will take down Funnick. So another good defense in this mid lane. NaVi continuing to be able to do it without the requirement of the anti-mage. Crystallize, he's 1400 in the ultimate orb. His farm, it's slowly continuing to creep up every single time this back and forth happens.
I mean, you might think Funnick's making a bad play there by staying, but he's kind of trying to get AM killed, It's not just staying there because he's stupid or something.
Well, I'd like to think that none of these players are stupid,
No.
All right.
He sees the Nyx, of course, but he's gonna start with Yules into Lash.
See the Lash. There we have it.
Shield off, so yeah, it doesn't matter.
Good catch. I mean, as you say, that I think HellRaisers, they're going to know that sentry placement's here, and that's why they play as split as they were. Kasani just prepared for the blink out from Crystallize. Nicely done.
So I think Crystallize is a bit frustrated right now. That's Funnick is gonna get caught there. See what Shadow. They should go for Shadow right away with Glimpse, but Brut is stuck in the fights.
Yeah, he wants to try and sort of trade back on this, committing onto Magical. Magical's popped the Exorcism, but Nyx is doing a lot of damage through it. Magical has to keep his distance. Nyx turns, he's been silenced, but now his own BKB is popped. Still chasing down the DP. He's trying to run on this. Magical's speedy, but finally being slowed down. The BKB ends, Magical will fall. Nyx gets the kill. The rest of NaVi have to be incredibly careful getting out of here. Ilias is trying to run, but the webs are down. Maposhka and Nyx will find him. There's no hiding in the trees for this man, as another kill is picked up by the Spider.
Okay. Let's see what Lash is trying. Yeah, I mean, I think they're playing super well, HellRaisers now. It's all about the AM. They're just stopping him from entering the bottom lane.
Yeah, both sort of Roger and Kasani have been perfectly on top of that.
And
never
this is why AM
needs, be safe.
Yeah, this is why AM needs fast farm, because if he had more items here, he cannot be stopped by ganks anymore.
and now they're going to start getting the real reward down mid. The tier 3s have gone, and Nyx and Kasani just rip through the range racks. They are going to back away from the melee racks as now the Na'Vi side is ready to defend.
Okay.
No exorcism up for a minute though.
Roger. He's calling Lesh right away. It's gonna be a super long TP, so he's gonna predict the blink back. From
Or it's a blink
he
up.
missed it.
Oh, but they may still find him.
Spell shield,
Kasani's
spell
coming.
Oh,
They've got him.
if he hit spell shield there, he was fine.
Not quite quick enough with the reactions, able to come in from right on the edge of vision during the night time.
Yeah. So they, I think if I was the AM here, I would ask my team to start taking fights, kind of like how Funnick has been playing this game. Even though he's behind, he's not like trying to catch up or anything. He's taking the fight to them. He doesn't care about his own game.
Because for sure, yeah, from Na'Vi's perspective, as you say, well, they're going to take Funnick away, make sure they can stick around and try for this tier 1. Yeah, they know that half of the time, this Nyx Assassin and Lesh, they are purely just playing down in their own jungle. They've got to try and punish this elsewhere. As the setup onto Slayer. I don't think this is going to be a fight Na'Vi can take. They've got to just let the back go and escape this Pasha. We'll turn back in for the last hit on the tower. He's able to TP out. So finally able to get another sort of tower away from HellRaisers. Still crystallized. There we are. Finally, the Manta style is done. So extra bit of stats, maybe an additional way to break the combo if the timings aren't quite perfect from HellRaisers. The problem is, so far they really have been, the way that they've chain stunned this anti-mage. And HellRaisers now with the itemization on Nyx, these fights, this Basher, now the full AC, they can do Roche. Incredibly easy. The Aegis is going to be taken by Kasani, and everything continuing to look very good for HellRaisers right now. An 8k lead. And this anti-mage still needing a whole lot of time that HellRaisers are not gearing up to be giving him any time soon. They're keeping their foot on the pedal.
Yeah. I just want to give a bit props to Funnick again. Even though he has such a bad game, he doesn't give up on his team and try to catch up. He's making so much work for his team. This is the first time he enters bottom lane. Because he just wants to finish the item. Here we go. He can BKB on Brood.
They've got the lasso. It's going to be a nice disruption, giving him some timing of protection. Still, Nyx is able to stay on top of Slayer. Pots the BKB. He's going to look to chase down the back, but Slayer gets the blink off in time.
You saw
Nothing will be found with this BKB, but Nyx won't go down.
It's like an in-game bug with the kinetic field. When he clicks BKB on the edge of the kinetic, it takes extra half a second to run out of it.
Oh, that's
kind of matter there.
What are you saying? There's no bugs in this game. That's a feature, sir.
It might be a feature. It's a bit annoying though as a carry player.
No, but I mean, I saw that myself. I was like, hang on, why is he not moving?
Brood Abyssal Blade. That stuff is scary. You can jump out of kinetic field also then.
Oh, yeah, very nice. Still going to need a bit of time, but well, with the speed that Nyx has been farming this game and picking up kills, that is going to only be about a minute away.
This guy.
They're hunting him again. Does he crystallize? See if they catch him. This time around, Funnick wants to join in the party. He's going to head over.
So, a lot of teams, what they would want to do on this AM is they bait the AM bottom once, but the way HellRaisers are playing, they're putting pressure, look top lane. They always pressure base, so they can't have heroes at the bottom, which makes Roger be able to kill them here.
I mean, so what's the call if you're Na'Vi now? Are you saying we've got to try and go on them at top? Because that's got to be hard. Even though you know you've got the numbers against them, they have the Aegis. So what do you do?
All they have to do is actually kill the Shadow Demon, and then hold the Stampede for BKB Brood. They cannot jump the Brood. They have to take a long fight with TP ult. And they actually have to fight at some point while AM pressures lane. But they're gonna wait BKB AM, and then he's gonna join the fight.
Okay, we'll see if he can get away with getting it. Ilias is around to help out Crystallize. They get eyes on one another. Roger and Crystallize. HellRaisers have started to split back across the map whilst this 30-minute mark is hit. Make sure they can get the lion's share of the bounty runes. They do, of course, have both of the outposts, so the XP advantage continues to skyrocket in HellRaisers' favor.
Yeah, I want NaVi to push out top, and then Disruptor can place a ward here, somewhere here. And then when AM pushes bottom like this, sees a TP on the outpost, then they take the fight over here, the side of the map. So AM dodges the gank and then they take the fights. That's how they have to...
Crystallize. He's just blinked into a lot of trouble. He blinks in the mid. Nyx is there as well as Roger. They do get the Who Stomp pop onto Nyx. Nyx not committing with the BKB, so Crystallize can jump out Slayer. He's going to jump forward, look for the lockdown with the lasso. He's just trying to buy time for the rest of his team to get out of there. Another blink from Crystallize will save him. The bat will fall, but HellRaisers, they want to find more than that. Funnick dragged back by the glimpse. Magical, you'll set up. They've got the stun follow-up, but the BKB is instant. Magical is still trying his best to get back to the high ground, and he'll be able to do so. They don't have the power to fight through the BKB. So NaVi, they cut their losses, only the bat to fall. They have to use a couple of ultimates, but it does keep everybody else safe.
Perfect scenario for them. All lanes are pushed. Look at Roger there. Let's see what he does here. Does he go to his team? Or does he go bottom? We'll see. He switched to bottom.
Yeah,
I love it.
As soon as he sees Crystallize,
He can run on this.
into action.
Yeah. Very good. Because he can cancel the TP also, right? So he contributes to the top lane by not being there.
Talking about the top lane is they're still just getting overrun.
AM TP back.
HellRaisers, they get the 2 kills. Crystallize has indeed backed, and the BKB, it's not there. Didn't manage to get the funds in time. They're losing this Rax here up top. The buyback's coming out from both Ilias and Pasha, who stomp connection onto Funnick. Crystallize tries to commit, but they just don't have the damage to take him down immediately. A defensive destruction, Manifold will pop the Lesh the once, but they've lost the Disruptor. It's a dieback on him. The bash is out from Nyx. Pasha is taken out. Double dieback on Navi's side. This game looking to be maybe even just over, or at least getting closer and closer. And yeah, they're going to call it. GG comes out from Crystallize. They didn't have the time to play as they wanted to with this AM as HellRaisers. They punished it perfectly.
You saw Crystallize drawing on the minimap. He's a bit frustrated on this game.